Hello everyone, this is going to be my index 0 on my tutorial on how to make a Discord/command spot. I recently found out about this, so I'm still kind of new to this, so this tutorial might be kind of bad, but I'm willing to try it out. So what I am here is what's called discord.js.org. It's a website where there's a library called discord.js that I use to create a bot. So we can go to the documentation, and I'll leave this in the description if you want to check it out. And you'll see we have some things right here. So this tutorial is going to be in TypeScript. If you don't have TypeScript and Node installed, I'll probably have a link in the description on how to install it. All you need for this tutorial is a Discord account, code editor like Visual Studio Code, and Node.js and TypeScript. So yeah. So first off, open up a folder in your VS Code. I have this yt/bot folder open, and then we're just going to type in the command npm init in order to start our project. And this will allow us to install some dependencies and stuff. It will take a second to load, and then, yep. So all of these you can basically just hit enter through. I just have a bunch of like boilerplate in here, and then yes. Right, and if you open up the package.json, you'll see something like this. Most of this you can ignore since it's just the default stuff. But what we are going to do is we're going to go back here, and we're going to basically copy this. I'm using Yarn. If you're using npm, you can just use npm. I'm using Yarn, so I'm going to use that, and just paste it in. And then it'll load for a second, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so it's done installing right now, and you can see in our package.json we have this dependencies object which has like discord.js/rest, Discord API types, and discord.js. So there's a few other dependencies we need. Let's install the Dev Dependencies first. So in Node, there's something called Dev Dependencies, which aren't actually code, but they help you when you're coding. So it's sort of like tools that you can use. So what we're going to add is yarn add, but we're going to add the D modifier. If you're using npm, I think it's npm install -- save dev. I think this is what it is. It might be wrong. But I'm going to use yarn add -D, and then we're going to get @types node. Whoops, can't type today. Nodemon and TypeScript. So we're going to install those three, and then I'll be back when they're done. It usually takes a pretty long time to install. Okay, it's done installing now, and you'll see we have this Dev Dependencies object right here, and this just has stuff like @types node and stuff. And this is just basically @types node. I can explain to you all of these. Discord.js rest. This allows us to communicate with Discord through the REST API. Discord API types, I think it's basically only for TypeScript, where you can get some type info on the API stuff. And then Discord.js is the main library we're going to be using. @types node, this is just basically types for node, like process and stuff that we'll be using. Nodemon, I'll show what it does later, and TypeScript is pretty generic. It's just the TypeScript language. So now what we need is a tsconfig.json. So in the root directory, for me it's yt/bot. You want to run the command touch tsconfig.json, so I can't type today. And you'll see it pops up this file called tsconfig.json. And I have this one I usually use. You can pause the video right now and copy this down. You might not need experimental decorators and emit decorator metadata. This is something I'm using for like MongoDB and stuff. But other than that, you can copy down these and most of these. And include, we just have source, and we're just excluding node modules. So now we can say, we can make a directory called source, cd into source, and then we can say touch index.ts. And you'll see it pops up right here. And then if we go over to the discord.js documentation right here, let's take a look here. we can basically just yoink all of this stuff. So just copy and paste this from the link in the description. And we have some stuff right here. So actually, let's first off, in VS Code, if you didn't know, to save a file, just press Control S. So if you ever see this white dot right here, just press Control S. Okay, so right now, we're gonna actually change this real quick to intents.flags.guild messages, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I think TypeScript is taking a minute to load. What? Huh. Oh, wait. Okay, so what's happening right now? This is actually required, so okay, let me just comment this out real quick. Sorry about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say import client from disco.js, okay, and it'll autocomplete in VS Code. And we can also import intents, right? And then we're gonna say const client equals new. Wow, I really can't type today. Client, and we're gonna say intents, and we're gonna have an array called intents.flags.guilds, and then we're gonna also have intents.flags.guild messages. There we go. So basically what intents are is like what your bot can do in a guild. So we're gonna grab the basic guild, and we're also gonna grab the messages in the guild. So this just allows the bot to see all guild messages, basically. And then we're gonna say client.on, and then we'll have ready. And then this is what's called an arrow function. I might have explained this earlier in one of my older tutorials, but yeah, we're gonna use an arrow function for this, and we don't actually need this. So we're gonna say console.log hello world. Actually, you know what? It might be kind of cool to do this. Console.log client.user. So the user on the client object is basically just basically what the user information. We'll say user.tag, and then is now online. Oh, it's lagging. Oh, that's lagging a lot. And you'll notice on TypeScript, it might show you object is possibly null. So what we can actually do here is we can put a question mark after this. So the question mark operator is actually pretty cool. It's in JavaScript, and what it does is if client.user is null, it'll just return undefined. But if client.user exists, it'll access the tag object. And we know client exists, so you technically could put an exclamation point right here, which basically tells TypeScript that client.user is always exists. But I usually just like to have a question mark because I guess I just like to do that. We can have it say it's now online. And then finally, we need to log in the bot. So client.login, and then we're gonna say token. All right. Now token is what we're gonna work on later, but for now we can just delete all of this, bam, and save that. So now we need to create the actual bot on the Discord applications portal. So go back to discord.js, and then I'll have this as probably like the second link in the description below. This is, you can just go to discord.com/developers/applications, and you can create a new application in this. And we're gonna call it, YT/bot. And then just have it as team personal. So after we make that, you don't need to worry about any of these. What you do need to do is, add a bot. So go to bot, and then click on add bot. Yes, do it. And then now it'll create a new bot for you. So you'll see right here it has a field called token. Now the token is basically like the key to your bot, alright? So the token you should never give to anyone else. Now I'm going to show it on this YouTube tutorial, but after I publish this video, I'm just going to regenerate it, okay? So don't ever give the token to anyone else because it's sort of like a key. And they can use the key to access your bot, and they can do stuff with the bot. So if you give your bot's give you bot administrative permissions in your server, it can cause some havoc there. So what you're gonna do is press copy, and then go back to VS Code. Then what we're gonna do is make a .env file, and we're gonna say bot token equals this. Okay, and then we can go back to index.js. So .env is a special type of file. Basically, usually when you publish to GitHub and stuff, you want to put your token in a separate file that you exclude when you publish, so nobody else can see this file. And you can do that for instance, if I have a .git ignore, right? I might have like something like dependencies. Okay. And I might have like env, right? And then we have .env, and I might also have like the output as dist. There we go. Oh. So now you'll see that env is grayed out, and now it just means that whenever we publish to GitHub, which I might talk about later after we finish the bot, this bot token won't show up, so nobody else can see it, only you can. In order to access this bot token though from .env, we need a library called .env, right? So we're gonna cd back, and we're gonna say yarn add, and it's .env safe. Okay, so .env safe is a special library that allows us to access .env variables. And in order to do that, we're gonna say import .env safe /config, and this will basically just allow us to access the .env variables, and then in client.login token, we can just replace this with process.env.bot token. Okay, and this is basically all we need for a bot right now. In order to run it though, I actually have this cool thing with Typescript. So if you go back to package.json, you'll see the scripts place, and this is basically what you can write for scripts. We're gonna create two scripts real quick. We're gonna have one called watch, and this script is gonna run tsc-w, and that just means compile the Typescript, but also watch for any changes. So recompile it if there's any changes to the file. And then we're gonna have another one called dev. And dev is basically just going to run nodemon, which basically, it's sort of like the TypeScript -watch, but it watches for JavaScript files. So we're going to have this /index.js, right? So now, what we can do is in the terminal, we can say yarn watch, and then it'll run tsc-w. Okay, so it says it's compiled in watch mode, and you'll see that in dist, we actually have it index.js, right? And then now we just need to create a new terminal instance and run yarn dev. And once it logs on, you'll see that the bot starts to run. But we'll find there's an error here, which I'll show in a second. It says, enolent whatever, no such file directory .m.example. So .m safe is actually pretty nice because it checks for all of the environment variables that you have in .env. So what we want to do is create a .m.example, right? And then you want to have bot token equals. So this basically just means that .env will check that if .m.example has this bot token, and it will expect that .env has the bot token variable inside of it. It's basically just a safety check to make sure you have all the environment variables. So now we can type in ls to restart nodemon, and you'll see that it says yt/bot is now online. And then the next part I'll teach you is how to invite the bot to the server, which I'll need to set up real quick. Okay. So I'm back now, and we'll work on the next step with inviting the bot to the server. So if you go to the Discord developer portal again and open up your bot account, you can see there's an OAuth2 field. So basically what you want to do here is click on bot, and then also click on applications.commands, right? So these are the two scopes that we need. And then down here, just click on administrator, which gives you bot admin permissions in a guild. So we're gonna copy this. Actually, yeah, we're gonna copy this, and then we'll just paste this in here. And then it'll pop up like this thing that says invite the bot to your server. So it says right here, and it says this will allow the developer of the YT/bot to create slash commands in a server. And I'm just gonna select my server, and then continue, authorize. And then it'll have you do a CAPTCHA, which I hope, okay, I passed this time. Sometimes it takes forever to pass those. I guarantee I'm not a robot in these videos. So now go back to Discord, and you'll see probably that it's online. So you'll see we invited YT/bot to the server, and it's now online. It shows this online icon, and now you know you set up the bot correctly. So if everything worked correctly, it should say it's online now, and it should also show that in Discord. If it didn't, please leave the question in the comments below and like include like a picture or something, and I might respond to it with some help. So that's about it for my index video of this Discord bot tutorial. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them down in the comments below, and thanks for watching, I guess.